Employers who breach redundancy regulations will be prosecuted. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security is reminding employers that redundancy exercises implemented without properly notifying the minister will result in prosecution. In the release, the ministry stated that under the redundancy payment regulations, employers must notify the minister in writing within 21 days of the date the redundancy will take effect. The ministry has also stated that employers who breach the regulations will be subject to a fine not exceeding $250,000, or a prison term of 3 months, or both fine and imprisonment. The reminder comes as several sectors seek to implement measures to weather the economic recession caused by the pandemic. The tourism industry has been worst affected to date, with thousands being laid off as restrictions on travel and movement caused businesses in the sector to close their doors. The industry has projected earnings of US $1.4 billion to US $1.5 billion this year, far from the US $4.4 billion that had been expected prior to the pandemic. The industry is expecting to pick up some steam with the reopening of the country's borders to non-nationals in June. In late April, the Labor Ministry was in talks with employers to retain workers. The Ministry of Labor and Social Security is working with employers to retain workers as the country continues to grapple with the economic and social fallout from the pandemic. The Permanent Secretary, Colette Roberts-Risden, had mentioned that the ministry had been in meetings with a number of employers and trade unions to discuss strategies to prevent layoffs. Then, many persons are having it difficult, not just the companies themselves, but individuals as well, and so they have been encouraging employers not to lay off persons. If you have to lay off persons, provide them with some level of income that can help to sustain them during the period, was urged. However, where layoffs are unavoidable, it is advised that employers be guided by the provisions of the Employment Termination and Redundancy Payment Act. We have been encouraging our employers to look at the laws that are already in existence to see how, within the ambit of those laws, you can function. The Act outlines the circumstances under which long-serving employees are compensated for the loss of their jobs in the form of redundancy payments. Under the Act, a statutory redundancy payment is due when an employee is made redundant within at least 2 years of continuous service. Seasonal workers may also be entitled to a redundancy payment in circumstances where the seasonal employee has been employed for 2 or more consecutive seasons on a continuous basis. An employee is normally entitled to a redundancy payment where his contract is terminated because the employer has ceased or intends to cease to carry on business in which the employee was employed, or where the employee is no longer required to carry out work of a particular kind. This is also applicable where the employee has suffered personal injury that was caused by an accident arising out of and in the course of his employment, or where the employee has developed a disease prescribed under the Act, or where a seasonal employee attends his or her workplace at the beginning of any season in accordance with instructions given by his employer, and the employer fails to provide him with employment. As employees and employers, if there are any concerns in relation to the Redundancy Payment Act or any labor-related matter, please make contact with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security or the Industrial Dispute Tribunal for further clarifications. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We crave your comments. Let us know if there are any topics that you would like us to discuss on the Learning Academy. Of course, remember to like or not like so that we can have a better understanding of the topics that you are interested in. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching.